What's going on, y'all? This is Victor for the Lyric House. Welcome back to a podcast that we haven't done in a year, probably officially because of the pandemic. But I have an amazing artist here who I'm gonna let introduce himself. We just shot an awesome tribute music video that he's also gonna explain to you guys about. But go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
So what up, y'all? This is old Raymond. I'm a guy trying to put love back in the R&B music. So I'm very happy to be here. Putting this project out to the world and sitting with my guy here. So hopefully, once we finish this podcast, y'all go check me out. And check out some of this music that I'm trying to put out to the world.
Definitely. So let's talk to them really quick about the song that we just did the music video for.
Okay.
Let them know basically what the song is and what's it about and who's it for.
Yeah, sure. So the video we just shot is for a song called Farewell. Again, it's an R&B song. It was written for my cousin. My cousin passed away from leukemia about 5 years ago now at this point. And it was a a long time coming actually for the song. It took me about, I would say, like a year or two just to even, talk about my cousin after he passed away without, getting emotional. But once I did, I wanted to do something to celebrate him, to share with my family, to just have something to, kind of talk about and just, reminisce and think about all the good times we spent with him. And also a way to, process some of my feelings. So that's what the song is. It's basically a combination of basically how I was feeling during, his suffering with leukemia and his passing away, and just kind of all those emotions got rolled up into this song. So that's what it is.
Very briefly, for people who don't know, can you explain to them what leukemia is?
Sure. So it's basically a blood cancer. Essentially, it affects different people, but leukemia is basically a blood thinning cancer that kind of gets, once you get affected with it, it slowly attacks your immune system and things like that. So it's almost like an autoimmune deficiency type of disease, and it just slowly breaks your body down, and eventually you can't function on your own and you pass away.
And how old was your cousin?
When he got sick, he was 33, I believe. And he battled it until he was 38. He battled for a while.
Strong man.
Yeah.
Very, very strong man.
Yeah.
So tell me about the writing process. I know it was very difficult. But tell me what went into to writing this song.
Yeah, it definitely was difficult, but I kind of approached it the same way I do most of my writing. So, number one, for me, I got to get inspired. So I already had the inspiration for this one. But what I typically do is I come up with a theme, and I try to come up with the hook first. So that's kind of what process I felt for this one. So I knew the theme was, to say a goodbye letter, so to speak, to my cousin. And so that's how I came up with the hook of the farewell. And once I get the hook, I basically then try to just figure out what kind of story I want to paint, with the verses. So, I already had the hook. I knew I wanted this to be this letter. So when I wrote the verses, I basically just said, okay, now I'm writing a letter to him. What do I want to say to him that I didn't say, when he was there? And that's basically how the process kind of went. It was like the first verse was, these are things that I didn't get a chance to say to him, but I was feeling. And so that's basically what I did for the second verse as well, too. It's like I didn't get a chance to say a lot of this stuff when he was around. And so that became the letter writing process, essentially. Like, let me write this letter to him. And that's how I came up with it.
And then as soon as I heard the song, I immediately, fell in love with it, because I'm like, this is the type, like, I could tell a story with this visually. I can direct this video, and I can do something very, very special with it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, so that's cool.
Yeah, what did you have in mind when you were putting this together? Like, what were the purpose of the song? Was there something more for you to get it off your chest to have there, or was this something that you also wanted to share, to the world? And like, what was the process? You're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this song for my cousin.
I think initially it was to get it off my chest. It was more of trying to process the feelings that I had, or that I didn't get to express. As I was putting it together, though, I think I could kind of get the sense that it was bigger than me at the time. I was like, man, this actually is a decent song. This is a good song. Like maybe I should, share it with, my family, like my, especially my auntie and things like that. And so it then became that. So initially it was, like I said, just trying to get out, get my feelings out and kind of get it on paper and, let it process. But then, like I said, probably halfway through the process of actually putting the song together, I was like, you know what? No, let's go an extra mile with this. Let's make this, something that anybody in my family, can just throw on, at a barbecue type of thing. Like, hey, I'm at a barbecue. Y'all remember, the Kari out there? Let's play this song, and celebrate them. So that's what the how it kind of morphed into it for me. Was like, you know what? Let me make this something that we can all enjoy and we can all play. Like I said, at any family gathering, and and give it some bump. Like I have something that people actually like and enjoy. Like not just be my love letter, so to speak.
So when people when they watch the video, there's a little portion of the video where you're dancing.
Yeah.
While this was not something that we had scripted out. This was not something that I had in my notes at all. You told me that you guys had a dance that you used to do that nobody else could do it but
Correct.
you guys. So I was like, hell yeah, like, you have to do it for the video. It ended up being my favorite part of the video. Like, that's the part that I want people to resonate with the most, because I know what that meant to you guys, because me personally with my family, like little things like that mean the world to us.
Yeah.
So tell us about the dance.
Okay, sure.
Where did the dance originate from? Like,
all right.
How did it become your and your cousin's thing?
So my family, we have a lot of preachers in our family. Okay, my grandfather was a preacher, and me and my cousin were very, very close to my grandfather. So whenever my grandfather preached, he's a down south Baptist preacher. So whenever he preached and he got really into it, he would do this thing where he would kick his leg. He'd get really excited and he'd kick his leg. So it started as my cousin imitating him kicking his leg. Like that's basically how he started. He's like, we get up and make fun of him, at like family reunions and stuff like that. So that's how it kind of started. But then what it morphed into was, like I said, because it's this very hunky, weird, just like it looks almost like you're offbeat, but you're not offbeat. I mean, it's a very, very unusual dance that it takes a lot to kind of get. And so what happens is, after he started imitating my grandfather, and then he would go to parties and people were like, hey, do that thing when you make fun of Reverend Mitchell. And so he would do it, and then they would put music onto it, and so he started doing it to music. And then they was like, well, how you do it? Can you teach us? Can you teach us? And he was trying to teach people and no one learned it. But then I picked it up. I was able to get it. So me and him basically started doing that at parties for our family at first. And then we just started doing it like everywhere. Like we would go to, clubs and like, hey, you want to do that crazy dance today? And that's what happened. So we just started, that became our thing. We knew that we can do this crazy dance that, especially when we both did it, it looked kind of cool to people, but no one else really knew how we were doing it. It was, it's this unusual thing that, unless you've been in a circle and you kind of, know how to put it together, you couldn't really do. So that's kind of the story behind it.
Dope. So in the video, we're totally skipping these questions that we have here.
That's cool.
In the video, we have your son and your nephew.
Yes.
Playing you and your cousin. What did that mean to you to have your son there and to have your nephew there, kind of, doing the flashback scenes and kind of reenacting, you guys' childhood and everything, but like looking at the video and watching it, because you've seen pretty much the rough cut of it.
I've seen it.
Yeah. How does that feel to like a proud dad moment? Like that's something that.
Yeah. It was kind of surreal, honestly. Especially to know, because my son is, he's kind of not like me. He's more of an introvert person. So to see him kind of come alive on the camera was more of a surreal moment. But it did do justice to kind of remind me of me and my cousin. It's like that, just seeing them two together and how they interacted and how they, just, had fun and they were doing stuff. It was really like looking at a mirror, and looking and seeing me and my cousin back then. So it was it was cool. It was cool and really emotional, kind of to see it. Like, wow, like this really is, like the next generation of us. Like here they are, and they're getting to experience as part of it. So yeah, I mean, it was surreal to have them part of that, to know they're gonna be part of it. For the rest of our lives. Like this, this will live in infamy. Hopefully, everyone will be around, and everyone will see it. So yeah, it was definitely a proud dad moment. But yeah, just surreal.
And in the song, there's a part where you talking about racing. You guys used to race each other a lot.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really wanted to hit on. And there's a part you guys will see it in the video when you watch the video after this, where I have your nephew. What's his name again? I know he had an awesome name.
Oh, Chosen.
Chosen. There you go.
Yeah.
So I had Chosen. What's your son's name?
Aiden.
Okay, we're gonna say Aaron. So Aiden. So I had them kind of like peek out and look at the camera, like, yeah, I'm getting ready to race.
Okay.
So that was a dope little part, because that they were so into it the entire time. I think they knew ahead of time like what this song meant to you and everything, and
that's good.
They really, I worked with kids 1,000 times, and they suck in front of the camera. You'll have those kids who they do too much, and then they're kids who don't want to give you any type of energy or anything like that. But they were awesome, man. They were really awesome. They made the video.
I'm definitely happy. Like I said, I wasn't sure how that was gonna play out, but I'm happy that it worked out.
Yeah, I'm glad you said yes to everything. 'Cause I was like, hey, let's do this. Yes, let's do this. Yes, let's try this. Yes.
I mean, you to me, if you go work with somebody, especially somebody professional, and they, you let them do their thing. Like they have visions, and I gave you input on things, but I trust you. So like your vision is what I want to make happen too. I mean, I feel like we're both on this path together. So yeah, no, I'm definitely always down for that.
Dope. All right, so we're gonna switch gears just a little bit to kind of keep it a little podcast feel. So, but who are you listening to right now? What artists are on rotation?
So man, like I said, I have a very eclectic list. When I wake up, honestly, it's just kind of how I feel. So I wake up, sometimes I listen to country music. I mean, obviously R&B, gospel. I mean, I listen to everything. But rap, everything. But this morning I woke up, I listened to DMX, then I went to Dan and Shay, and then I went to Neo, I think was what I was listening to the last little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place.
That was that was a big mixture.
That's why I'm like, I listen to any and everything, man. Long as it's good to me, and it's something, especially if you got some lyrics. I need lyrics. I need somebody to say some stuff. And you got a good beat, I can probably get with it. So
dope. So are you more of a listener of music, or do you vibe out to it? Do you catch yourself dancing and I'm really enjoying it?
I can tell you that right now. I'm definitely more of a listener, man. I need lyrics. Like when I hear music, even if I'm vibing out to it, like even if it's just a dope beat, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's the one. I need lyrics. Like I need to hear what you're saying. Like if you say something, it catches me right away. If you don't, I mean, I'm like, okay. I mean, the beat will still probably get me dancing, but it won't have me repeat listen to it. I put it like that. Like repeat listening, I need content. I need a picture to be painted in my head and in my mind, and that's how I go with my music.
That's exactly what I listening to your song Farewell. That's exactly what I felt. Like the second that you sent it, I was on my way to a wedding, and I wanted to call you back right away, but I was like, nah, gotta hop in the bride's house real fast. But it painted a picture, and then painted a picture so well. So you did such a great job writing it. Because it painted that picture of exactly what like the emotions were, bringing you back in time, and it was just awesome, man.
Thanks.
It was really, really dope.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna pause for 2 seconds. Everything good? Okay. And play. I thought you lifted your hands for a second there. All right. So we're gonna give a shout out to my homie Joe, who future photographer. He's already a photographer, but future great photographer. He's on point with everything, but I kind of invited him over for one thing. He's doing another right now. But thank you, Joe.
Thank
officially. You, Joe. Dope. So what do you want people to take away from this song after they listen to it and after they watch the video? What do you want them to take away from it?
So I want them to take away, the love that I have for my cousin. That I have. I mean, it's not going away. Just the love and the closeness that we, had and experienced, and hopefully, if they experience anything like that, it's something that'll help them, too, to know that it may take you a while to process the feelings, but you'll get there. You'll get to a point where you'll be celebrating and you'll be happy and you'll think about those good moments, and they won't make you sad. You'll be happy to talk about the loved one that you've lost, and like I said, just to keep moving forward, to keep enjoying life. That was something that was hard for me in the first 6 months. It was hard for me to really think that I could enjoy life again, because I always felt guilty. It's like I would enjoy something and I'm like, man, like, I don't know if I should, be able to enjoy this right now. My cousin's gone, and it's still kind of soon to me. But I definitely think that this song, I think, will help you kind of realize that you can get to that point. So I really hope that you take that away from it when you hear it. You get to see like emotions that I've had, and hopefully you'll see it and go, wow, this guy is still joyful. He still, thinks about his cousin, and you can tell that he still loves him and still enjoys, thinking about things that they did together as a kid, type of stuff.
Yeah, I want people to know, like, we went through a very tough 2020,
Yeah.
and millions of people lost their life unexpectedly. Some young, some old.
Yep.
Don't think about what you lost. Think about everything that you guys gained. All the time you get to spend with that person, all the love, all those great memories, and use this song as something to inspire you. Maybe you guys need to write a letter, write a poem. Maybe you need to write a song. But yeah, everybody, I'm positive everybody watching this lost someone, knows someone who lost someone, a coworker, a friend, a family member. So definitely enjoy this and take it as celebrating someone's life instead of mourning their death. Celebrate the life that they did have.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, awesome. Thank you very much
for
for coming out. Thank you very much for allowing me to shoot this video and to put everything out there. So it's gonna be really dope.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you've done. So thank you.
Big shout out to Joe at Miller Studio,
Yes, sir.
for recording, mixing, and mastering the song. Any artists out there, you already know, go to Joe. But yeah, man, awesome. Thank you. It's the Lyric House, y'all.